Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Doctor Strange, issue number 16. Question, why isn't this an event? We're going to get more into that after we talk about who made the book. First off, we got to talk Herald Supreme, part 5. Storytellers are Barry Kitson and Mark Waid. Finishes, Scott Koblish. Colors, Brian Reber. VC's Corey Petit on letters. Cover artist is Jesus Saez. Anthony Gambino does the design. And Doctor Strange was created by Steve Ditko with a little bit, literally a little bit of help from Stan Lee. So, Clea and Umar are leading the charge against Galactus, who is now magically and scientifically fused as parts of each of those, I don't know, elements, if you will. And those, whatever, understandings of the way that the world, the universe works. So Satanish actually shows up at one point in the vein of the broken nightmare. You know, his was the first realm to go. Satanish shows up and he's ready to just kick some serious butt. The problem is, so is Galactus. When Strange finally does show up, and fortunately with all the heroes, not just of Earth, but of the universe, really. I mean, Super Skrull shows up, some Novas show up. What do you call it? The Shi'ar Imperial Guard shows us. Pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. We get to see Gargoyle in this from the old Defenders comic books. That did me proud. And like there were at least 3 panels with him in it. I'm like, wow, and a close-up too. Badass, dude. Badass. Hells yes. It was still a little weird because like Sam Alexander is there with his full suit on and everything, you know, his helmet, and it's like, no, he doesn't have all that stuff. What's going on, man? What's going on? So, there are a couple other things to show, like Black Bolt has his voice back. Did nobody else read the Death of the Inhumans? We can't just ignore that because it's just been reconfirmed in the Guardians of the Galaxy comic. I think that was issue number 5 or 6. Anyway, the whole thing is just a little bit wonky. That being said, I got to double down a little bit more on this. This felt like a rehash of the Infinity Gauntlet. All these heroes coming forth to battle, and yet the purpose of them doing this is, well, like I said, it feels a lot like the Infinity Gauntlet. And I'm talking about the comic book series, not, you know, the Endgame or whatever else was out there, the Infinity War. No, I'm actually talking about the comic book. Still talking about that comic book a little bit. I felt that this comic, this whole arc, would have served itself a whole lot better if it was actually an event. This feels like an event, except it's all contained in just a regular Doctor Strange run. And it's both refreshing and strange. Pun intended? No, not at all. That we have a microcosm event, which is actually, like, it's huge, right? But it's contained to just the Doctor Strange comic. It's hard to really put my finger on whether I like it or dislike it, you know? Would it be cooler if it got to breathe and more heroes got to be involved in this? I don't know. Then I think it would have felt more like the Infinity Gauntlet story. With this, with everything just being confined to a single arc of this run on Doctor Strange, it's, like I said, it's refreshing. I don't have to buy a million comics. I'm already buying this comic book anyways. I'm already reading this comic book. It's just odd. Feels a little off. I felt that this story could have done with expanding itself a little bit. Maybe a crossover with like one other comic book out there. I don't know. I feel like this would have to cross over with every other comic book out there. Maybe if this was actually done as the annuals this year as opposed to something else. It would have been cool if this was actually a story where all the annuals crossed over with each other. That would have made me happy. Anyway, this was still really good. I just feel as though it really contained for such a massive story, right? But that's it for me, guys. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.